Well, happy Friday. We finally made it. We made it to Friday, which means it's time again on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for a little virtual happy hour here on a Friday. Glad you're along. Let's roll that open in three, two, one. Here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad you're along. I bring us some items down. Let's bring that down. And let's bring this up. And let's bring that down too. Glad you're along here on a Friday. Happy Friday. We made it as we count down first week of December. That's right. First week of December as we are now the fifth for you folks in Australia, fourth here on a Friday, North America. Glad you're along. And coming up today on the show that we just kind of roll it open and just say, let's do this. A little chat. We're going to do our normal Friday beer test, beer taste, I guess is it more taste test, whatever you want to call it. It's our reviews we've been doing, and it's something we've kind of tried the last few weeks. And we're going to revisit one that we didn't try, but I told you about a month ago. So we're going to go to there. Just a few minutes. But first things first, we always start the show off the very same way. Well, not always, but I would say, 85% of the time we start the show off like this. Here we go. Well, there we go. Mom, what's up? What are you wearing there? What is that you're wearing exactly? Is that like a
It's just a striped uh, t-shirt. It's a striped house shirt.
okay?
I
I
actually
wasn't
don't have
sure what
pajamas
it's
on.
kind of like. What is that? It looked like you were sort of wearing one of those like a
No,
TV watching blanket, and you were just like laying under the blanket
no,
watching TV from the
no. Look,
recliner.
here's the blanket.
Oh,
There's the
okay.
blanket.
All
We're
right.
getting ready to watch Tech beat Troy about 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, that comes on at 9 your time, 8 o'clock real time, which is Texas time. They call it Central Time, but we just go ahead and call it Texas time in
Why not?
most of the world. Most of the world calls it Texas time. Did you? I don't know if you saw my show last night, the Australian show, but there was
No, I
there was an
missed it. I
well,
was partying.
there was an Australian guy, Mom, that was laughing because, Paul and I promote the show because Paul's in Perth, which is a West Coast time in Australia, which only about 10% of the country are in that time zone. 90% of the country, or maybe more like 80% of the country, lives in the East time zone because remember, South Australia has that hour and a half difference. But Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, they're all in that East time zone. And this guy
Yeah.
can comment, because our little promo thing says 7 a.m. in Western Australia and 5 p.m. Thursday in Texas. And this guy kind of chimed in, which I thought was funny. I've been waiting for somebody to chime in on this because rather than put Central Time Zone and Western Australia time, I've been putting Perth time in Texas or Dallas time. And I was hoping if I kept doing that, folks would catch on. And sure enough, some guy last night, I drew him all sides going, I'm going to tune in, but it sure is an interesting time because he was obviously in Victoria somewhere. But anyway, that's kind of been our calling card to get just a little bit extra notice. So that's my story about time. So
Yeah.
you didn't see the show. Why were you watching the show last night, Mom?
Well, because I had a calling from my uh, crazy Connie and we were out and about, which don't tell Sam.
Not a
He's
good idea.
huh?
Not a good idea.
Yeah, but anyway, our friend Linda, Linda Carey that we played trivia with forever.
Sort of, yeah. Okay.
Well, anyway, her dad was 100 yesterday. They're
Oh,
actually
wow.
having a big reception tomorrow, and we have assigned times to go. But we gave him. He loves some kind of scotch. I don't know. It's a certain kind of scotch he likes. So we took it over. He lives in the same area that Connie does, and so does Linda. But he has a home there, and then he has a home in Florida. And he's getting ready to go to Florida for 4 months starting December 21st. Anyway, so we went over and at about 3:30, and then we went to her house, and her boyfriend called, and I talked to him, whatever, and then we went to Artisan at 5 for salad and drinks. So um, that was where I was. I was busy.
Huh.
She wanted to do that, and I said, okay, I'll go. I mean, um,
There's a pandemic going on. You do know that.
well,
Right?
I realize that, but you know what? Some people must realize it, because they were telling me at Brad was telling me at Artisan that they're down about half of what they have been, which is, it makes sense. So it's they're hurting a little bit. He's is a good manager, so I've done carry out mostly from my other restaurants. So I can't avoid everything. I have a meeting that I need to meet with one of my board members, and we have some things to take care of, and you just can't do it without looking at things. And we've got some things to order for our sponsors, and she's going to show them to me. So we're meeting for lunch at the Vine on Tuesday at noon.
Huh.
So because she works, so can't avoid everything, but I'm
No.
staying pretty much at home.
No.
So
I'm
anyway, that was where I was last.
Going to see Matt out there. Speaking of Australia, going to see Matt. Matt, do you get confused? I just want to throw this out because I know you like South Australia, Mom. You like Adelaide, but the time zone there is an hour. It's at the half hour.
It's crazy.
Yeah, top of the hour. One place is bottom of the hour in Adelaide, which is always weird.
Extremely confusing.
Yeah. Matt's not in Adelaide. I don't believe. I think he's in Victoria or Sydney, or New South Wales. But anyway, yeah. Well, be safe. Well, the thing is, here in the Metroplex, they rolled back. I guess is the word. Rolled back went from, what was it, 75% back to 50 now because of the whatever. I mean, because of the days in a row and all that. But I got to tip the cap though. I was to both schools that I spend time with, TCA and Prince of Peace. They both have fought through this week and got through it. So I was very impressed. And good. They're trying to get the semester and kind of reset again in January. Everybody is. I know in GM at St. Mark's, they're going to start again in person on Monday, but I was just very impressed how everybody's been handling it. But although it's 10 a.m. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. there in Sydney for Matt. And which I was telling Matt before you jumped on, Matt, some mom that some fan over there in I guess in the East thought it was kind of funny. He wasn't making fun of us, but he was laughing that I promote our show, Talking Baseball Australia Live. I promote our show with 7 a.m. in Perth and 5 p.m. in Dallas. And I don't put Central Time Zone, I put Dallas or I put Texas. And so we're joking about Texas time and Western Australia time, but that's where that whole conversation came from. But people, everybody adjusts their timepiece accordingly. It's like when you see a promo for a game, you go, okay, well, that's 8 o'clock Eastern. Well, that's 7 o'clock here. By the way, before I let you go, Mom, I know you saw this, and I don't have the video. I'll play it on Monday, but the Edinburgh high school game.
Yes.
Did you see that?
What, that was awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, and apparently that kid has gotten banned from soccer and other things too.
Well, what I'm talking about, it was a high school game down in the Valley. Edinburgh's down on the Rio Grande Valley, or what we call the Valley, Rio Grande Valley area down on the border. Actually, it's where, as a matter of fact, I think it's where Texas A&M Pan America is. I believe that's where former Victoria, he's still a member of Team Australia, but he's still a Melbourne, former T-Bone Sam Street, who's from Victoria, played his college ball at Edinburgh and down that way. But anyway, still a member of Team Australia, still a member of the Aces. But anyway, tying that together for Matt there. But what happened is apparently this guy, the new thing is this wasn't a deal when we played high school football. It's now a college deal and a pro deal, but the targeting deal, where if you hit a helmet to helmet or the top of the helmet, whatever it is, you can be ejected from the ball game and be deemed targeting and be out of the ball game. Well, apparently that's kind of what happened. The kid had unnecessary roughness. personal foul, unnecessary roughness. So he was hitting after the whistle. I haven't seen the whole play yet. It's always read about it. I saw the Twitter feed, but the long and the short of it is, I saw the part where the kid ran out there and the referee is doing his personal foul, and he's he's whatever, doing his thing, and the kid just finally just turns and he hauls ass out the field and just slams the referee. And of course, he's got teammates and people chasing him, and this kid got arrested and all that. But yeah, you've watched a lot of football at the high school level, Mom. Anything close to that you've ever seen? Anything close to that?
Never. As much football as I've watched from the time you kids were in high school, and even in the public schools that I watch around here, never have I seen that. Well, and the point being, after I read a little bit about it, he's gotten kicked out of soccer. So it's not like, he has anger issues or something. But he got 2 fouls. He caused 2 fouls in that one play. And that's ridiculous. He would be kicked off of Concord's team, I can tell you for sure, for good, because that, I don't think that would have happened. But how do you can't? They tried to stop him, I guess. I mean, it looked like they were trying to stop him, and they had to go to the emergency vehicle and make sure the referee didn't have a concussion, because he just cold-cocked him.
Terrible.
That's embarrassing for our society, to have kids who are out of control like that.
What's weird about that is you had thought that would have happened 20 years ago, because now everybody gets a participation medal. Everybody gets a ribbon for being on the team. So you'd think that in the day of everybody's a winner and no one's got the toughness anymore, no one's got middle. I mean, I can just tell you right now, having 2 girls have gone through high school in recent years and now in college, the sky falls a lot easier now than it did in 1985, and probably a lot easier than it did in 1955 as well. But you'd think in this day and age of kumbaya and all that would never happen. But that's why I was so shocked by it. I just thought,
And he was a big dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't tiny. It was not like a little skinny running back running out there and knocking him down. It was a big dude, a lineman or something. I don't know. Anyway, that was terrible.
Before I let you go, I was going to tell you too. Went and saw Maxwell, as you know, the other night. But we sat in the stands that when we were in school were the stands on the home side. But they flipped them down, put a brand new.
Oh, really?
But when Sam played in that new side when we were there. But my year was the last year they had the old side, and that's where they still have the bleachers there, but they don't have the press box. But I just thought it was funny. When Chris dropped his little sign for Maxwell, and I said, "Well, go down there and see if you can find my mouthpiece, because it's probably down there."
Yeah. Well, and do they still have the same concession stand that I used to run?
Yeah, but they've redone it a little bit. It's been revamped a little bit.
Well, it was tiny. It was tiny.
It's it's not. We're not talking. It's not like a full service restaurant, but it's bigger than it was. So yeah.
Yeah. And the one inside the building was tiny too. It was not much bigger than.
No, that is still there, I believe. I think that is still there.
Yeah. Well, Maxwell had a game that was supposed to be televised today at 3:45 your time, and apparently the camera wasn't working. It was out at Cistercian, but the freshman basketball game was on. Their camera was working, so I didn't get to see him play tonight, and I don't think they're videoing it tomorrow.
Let me just describe to you what goes on in those games. They run up and down the field, they pass the ball a couple times, and they spend more time chasing it out of bounds, and then they'll score 4 or 5 goals.
Well, guess what?
That's about it.
Guess what, baby cakes? You played. All your brothers played.
I understand that. I understand that.
I actually coached them.
I like playing the game, but I hate it's useless. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody to go watch that as a fan. I mean, I go because I love the kid, but I'm just saying it's boring.
But have you ever tried watching it on a camera that nobody's talking?
Boy.
And half the time, the ball changes hands, and they're still down where the ball was, and the ball is all the way down the other end.
Well, it's not ESPN, Mom. It's not Premier League on NBC. I mean, it's nothing like that.
I'm actually paying for that, so there you go.
No, well, anyway, you're talking to the wrong person. That's not my department with him. So you have to talk to the broadcaster.
But anyway, Chris said, he said the camera I guess they're at Cistercian, the camera wasn't working. So anyway, the game should be over here pretty soon. But anyway, well, I'll get on
All
the other
good.
side.
All right.
All right.
Love you, Mom. Have a good
Love you
rest of your
too.
day. See you later. There you go. There she is, Mom, right there in Indiana. All righty. There she is, Mom, joining us on the show. Always appreciate her stopping by. And it's kind of like, it's just tradition here on the virtual happy hour, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock Central Time, Texas time. Glad you guys are stopped by for 5 minutes or for the whole time, whatever. You're going to get the official beer test here in a few minutes, but we will get to that in just a moment. In case you didn't see that, and this was one of those deals, and it happened last night. In this day and age, you charge a football field official as a high schooler on a Thursday night. Well, before you wake up in the morning, it's already all over the world. It's already on the web, all over the internet. I mean, this is not a day where in this day and age where news travels at a normal pace. That doesn't happen. There's no normal pace. Now it's instantly, and I'm sure within minutes, that kid, but again, in case you missed it, this kid charged the referee and decked him, basically just laid him out. And anyway, I'll try to dig some more up on that on Monday. I meant to this afternoon, but was teaching today, so I didn't get a chance to do that. And my patience was a little thin. I had a kid today. I want to bring my wife in. I'm going to tell her about this because let me bring her in a moment. She's going to join us in a second. But I had a kid today, and an interesting story. The kid reminds me a little bit of what I would have been like back in the day. And I always say that substitute teaching is kind of revenge on me as when I was a kid, so to speak. I mean, it was kind of I see myself in the audience, so to speak, right? I mean, I'm looking at myself. I had a kid today, and apparently he was told he could do this, and I all good. He decided he was going to, out of a beaker, decide he was going to drink corn oil. And I'm like, okay. And then he couldn't get the taste out of his mouth. And I told him prior, he goes, do you mind? And I said, sir, don't do it. You're going to hate it afterwards. Famous last words, and he sure enough hated it. All right, let's bring the wife on before we test the beer, because I do believe she is waiting in the wings. Let's go ahead and check that out. Here we go, a little wife music. I'm sorry about that. I don't know where she went. She was right there, and then she disappeared on me. I don't know where she went. She was there, and she disappeared. So we'll wait for her to join us. But she had her intro jam going, and she disappeared. But she was there. I saw her. I just muted her microphone, and that was it. So I guess she'll check back in with us. Mom says substitute teachers are getting paid more. Well, yeah, they should be. I was actually had a dream where I was hired as a designated substitute teacher. Let's bring the wife in as she's joining us now. You missed your intro music, but there you are. Hello, how are you?
I've not even seen you today. I mean, barely, but
well, you were doing some nonsense down there that I just was out. That's all I can say. Out.
No, it was the Poetry Out Loud competition. It's something that I do every year, and it's always fun to watch these boys memorize poems and perform them. So.
What's up, Miller? Good to see you, Jeff Miller. Nate Herron out there too. I'll take your word for it, babe. But I love you, but I take your word for it. Did you hear my story? This kid, all right. One of the science teachers.
Corn oil?
Yeah, they were using these beakers to show them how different elements match. There was nothing wrong. And anyway, the teacher left him in the in the room, and so they had to go take him down to back to where he has the room. And he said, "Oh, you guys keep him there just to have discuss and talk." And the kid asked, "Well, can I drink him?" And he said, "Well, if you want, but it's just vegetable oil and corn oil. So this kid decides he's gonna, and I told him, I said, dude, I didn't do to him. I said, sir,
We do.
probably not the best idea, but it's Friday. All right. Yeah, knock yourself out. And boy, he regretted it pretty easily. And he couldn't get the taste. He was just, I'm going, he goes, that's the weirdest thing I've had in my mouth, the weirdest taste. And I'm like going, well, I tried to warn you.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's not good. I remember one time at Prince of Peace, there was some guy that dared somebody that they couldn't drink a gallon of milk in like 2 minutes or something ridiculous. And so they were it's just stupid stuff.
There's always those elements. When I was in high school, there was always those elements of the food dares, and really that carries on. I think Chomps, our good friend David Kerr,
Yeah.
who lives over there in Mississippi, but I knew him. We worked together up in Gary. He did the wing challenge at Quaker Lube and Oil, Quaker, the wing place,
I remember that place. Yeah.
something lube, food and lube or whatever. It's a really good wing place up in the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, all that. Maybe it's Quaker Steak, Lube and Oil, something like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a food restaurant. Wings are their thing. And they've got a wing challenge. You would eat so many of these really, really, really turbo wings. And we did that one night on like a Monday, Tuesday. He tried. He ate them all, but he took some home. But he started. I think he had to eat like 6 of them, and he got like 2 of them down or 3. I remember him looking at me going, "Give me a beeping beer." He was like, he finally broke down. I had to have a beer because you're not supposed to drink anything with him either.
I remember daring somebody, whatever that hot stuff that comes with sushi, it's red. Maybe it's ghost pepper sauce. I thought it was wasabi, but I guess it's not. There's something really
Wasabi's
hot.
green.
Yeah, I know, but there's something really hot. And maybe it was wasabi. I don't know. I don't think so. They were daring somebody to eat this whole like bit of it that came in their sushi, because the kids at Prince Beach used to always get food delivered before they had like an actual food service. And oh my gosh, I hate it when he goes to the bathroom in somebody's front yard.
Well, pick it up. Don't just sit there and look at it.
Well, I'm trying to get the bag open.
All right.
Hang on 1 second. There's the bag.
Riveting content, by the way. This is riveting content.
Well, sorry, I've got to do what I got to do. Pun intended.
No wonder 2 people watch this show because of this nonsense. But go ahead.
So anyway, I remember daring, I think it was Brian Thomas, to eat the whole thing of it, and like he literally couldn't breathe. It was so hot. It was really funny. But you recall, I think I told you about this. I had a kid a couple of years ago. In fact, it was Carrie Kirby's nephew.
No one knows who that is, but okay, continue.
A high school girlfriend of
Again, but we're trying to do a show for everybody, and they don't know Carrie Kirby from Kirby Lewis or whoever.
Anyway, let me finish the story, because this kid decided that he wanted to beef up. And so every day he came to school with a gallon of milk and a carton of Quaker Oats. And he ate milk and oats. And lo and behold, by the end of the year, he'd gained like 30 or 40 pounds. And like he was working out at the same time, and he had all this definition. And we couldn't decide if he had just like gone through puberty at the same time he was drinking milk and eating oats, or if the milk and oats actually worked. But yeah, I'd be like, Parker, what are you doing with the oats and the milk? He's like, I'm gaining weight. I'm going to get big. And I'm like, okay, knock yourself out. And he did.
Well, again, food, I think one of the underappreciated things of your youth, and I would say from
food contests.
Well, from 11 years old till mid-20s, because by the time you get about 30, it kind of dies out. But there's always there's the trip to Amarillo with the big old 96er or whatever it is. There's always those
there's
food.
a big hamburger in Scott, Arkansas, at that place that Chomps even talked about all the time, Cotham's, that closed down. They had a hamburger called the Hubcap, and if you could eat it, you could.
Well, knowing what I know about Arkansas, it probably was a hubcap that they put a piece of bread around
delicious.
it. Because I don't know.
Best. Those burgers are the bomb.
Is Arkansas a state yet? I haven't caught on. Have they even got statehood yet? Or
it's supposed to be a show for everyone, even people from Arkansas.
Oh, well, I don't think we have much of an audience there, although Chomps is from there, so I guess that Anyway, you know my feelings about that state. I'm sorry, that soon to be state. But yes, the food challenge. You know, there's an age with the food because I mean I look at these menus and these places that have challenges. I'm like,
But
back in the day, I would give it a go. What's that?
Your whole beer tasting is sort of a beer challenge. Like
Yeah, but you're not trying to down like 30 of them in like 2 minutes or something, or doing a beer bong or whatever, or keg stand. But somewhere along the way now, I will tell you, when I was in the club business, the slamming the beers and stuff were a little bigger of a player, but there were never any food challenges. I think as you get an adult, as you exit the food challenges, say in your late 20s, early 30s, it becomes more of a drinking challenge. Although you've always got one friend, there's always one mate of yours who is the food challenge guy, and I guess Chomps is that guy. And I was in the end. There's always one.
Well, y'all had like cheeseburger night at the ballparks, and you would have like cheeseburger eating contest, or maybe it was a hot dog eating contest.
We did that, yeah. There's some of those, but by and large, I mean, you kind of outgrow that eventually. It turns from food challenges to drinking challenges. So anyway, and even eventually you outgrow those. You're like, and the last thing you want to do is do 30 Jaeger shots or whatever, 30 Jaeger bombs or whatever it is that you did in your 20s or whatever you guys did at Penn State. I'm not sure what you guys did up there, but I guess probably y'all were doing 30 Rolling Rocks or whatever it was you guys do up there.
I don't know what they put in the beer bong. The one beer bong I ever tried.
All right. Well, looks like fun out there. How are the rest of the neighborhood?
It's kind of chilly.
Yeah. Well, it's I think the high today was 53, and I believe right now it's. But
I will say by the time I left to walk the dog right after you left, so around 7:45, something like that. And so I was probably running by 8:30. Oh my gosh, the temperature was perfect because it wasn't windy. And I love it when it's cold outside, but you're warm enough in your body while you're running that you don't get hot or you don't get cold. Brisk. I like it.
Well, I can tell you at 5 after 6, I was still wearing double layers. So
triple layers. I had on triple layers while I was running.
I had the normal tights, and then they had the warm up pants over that. Had the thermal shirt plus the fleece plus the hat. It was.
Same. I had the SMU T-shirt, my big McDonald's Week long sleeve T-shirt, the fleece jacket, my leggings, and the hat.
Well, it was 30 when I left the house. Felt like 28. It said, but there was no wind. The good thing is there's no wind, so that's really what saves your tail. 57 out in Vegas. Kevin says. Wife and expiring airline vouchers, and they are in Vegas, baby. Where are you staying at out there? Where are you going to win your big bucks? Where you going to win your next fortune?
Kevin's in Vegas? I thought they shut Vegas down.
No, because we're considering going at some point. So no, they haven't shut it down. Why would they shut? They're not going to. They're going to forge onward. They got to. They quit. They shut down much longer. Vegas would be a hole in the desert. Which, good for him. Mom says, but yeah,
we were basically told at our assembly not to travel.
Well, I think Papa's telling people not to do that. Papa is telling you that he's gonna. Well, he told people to wear a mask for the first 100 days of his office, and he also wants people not to travel. But I got news for you and for him and for everybody else, including the new dictator that we have in Dallas County. That ain't happening. Okay. People are going to do what they're going to do. Now call me insensitive or whatever, but I mean, again, I have to drive back and forth from work because I need to get paid. And so do you. And of course, masks are mandatory everywhere, which is what I figured, but we have to get paid, and I can't just, the wife, I guess, disappeared there, but, oh, well, there she is. She's coming inside that. But yeah, we got to get paid. You got to work. I got to work. Unless they're going to write me a check to sit on my duppus and not do anything. And unfortunately, they've not done that. There's been no one to do that. And we have to pay a mortgage. We have to pay car payments, insurance, all that stuff. I mean, we got no choice. So.
Yeah,
Papa's idea.
There's a lot of people that have to travel that don't have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Top secret, Mom. So post it online so everybody can see it. Yeah. Well, no one's going to know that.
Nobody's gonna know what.
Kevin asking, yeah, he's not much of a gambler. He's staying at New York, New York. Asking, you know what? Let me see what my picks are this week. Let me see what I got for you, Kevin. If there's anything that because I did not look at them yet, but I'm kind of, I usually look at them around Friday morning ish. Let me see if I got anything that just jumps out at me. I don't see anything just yet. I hadn't looked at the lines yet, but I do remember I made my picks for my ESPN poll that I do with Brad Allred and some of those guys. I'm trying to think who jumped out at me. I don't remember. I think the Chiefs were 8-point favorite against Denver. They had to lay them out by about 3 scores. I was intrigued by. There was another one I was intrigued by, but I have to. Gosh, Kevin, I have to look and see here. Let me see my lines here. Where are those lines? Let's see here. Football lines. I had them up, and oops. Here we go. The lines, Kevin, we pull them up for you guys as the wife is back. Anyway.
Yeah, I was feeding Max.
Don't tell Sam, my mom said. Send me some if you come across them. Let me just double check. I looked this morning, but I didn't look very long. I did see. I kind of, I'm trying to think what's jumped out at me. I'm looking right here.
Let me go to the other side.
Okay, we'll see you. Love you, babe. There we go. There goes the lovely and talented wife right there. And then we can play her jam there for you. Kevin, I like that San Diego. If you can get it a pick, I kind of like that. I think I'm the only one. Let me see here. I don't know where it is right now. The Skins and Steelers. Let's see here. Nothing just jumping out at me at the moment. I do like it's jumped though. It's up to 11 now. But when it was about 8, I love the Seattle Seahawks hosted the Giants. Anytime you go west from the east, that's always tough. It looks like the Rams are 3-point favorites on the road to Arizona. I'm thinking I'm liking Arizona there as an underdog. Just kind of looking at that right now. There's just a couple of them pop out to me. That Chiefs game now is at 13.5, and I still think they cover that. And we may just start a little pick segment here. I'm intrigued by this line now. Tennessee opened at 3.5 over Cleveland. Now they're 5.5 at home over Cleveland. I am tempted to, first off, the over-under is 53. If the weather's good, I think that's a game that goes over, and I would play the Browns there. Just kind of some odds there that I've seen. Anyway, okay, let's go to the next part of our show, which is the part we've all been waiting for. Let's roll that for you. Here we go. There we go. Kind of fade it down for you there. Beer time. Time to find out if it's any good. And it's DV's beer review. Now, last week we stayed sort of in the same. We had the Christmas cookie, sugar cookie beer last week. We're staying sort of in the dessert mode. Right now, a lot of breweries have been doing this really since the summer. And now with the holidays back again, A lot of the microbreweries are doing the dessert type beers, and there's a lot. Martin, they got a bunch of stuff out of Martin over in Fort Worth. I've got to get to that. There's some new ones out. I'm going to try to make a trip over there one day very soon to get their. They've got some you have to actually go in and purchase at the actual location. They're not actually distributing it for commercial use, but you got to buy it at their front. But this one here is not one of theirs. Yeah, time for beer, Keith. Let's see here. Yeah, time for beer, my friend. I had this before, and you heard me talk about this. We mentioned this key lime product about a month and a half ago. It was Easter. I'm sorry, Easter. Got holidays mixed up. It was on Halloween weekend. Went to Lubbock and we tried this. Maddie, our daughter-in-law, works at a place called Flippers, really cool place. We talked about that. I showed you guys the decor and all that. Anyway, this was on their menu, and I had one. I've already had this, so I'm cheating a bit here, but I want to give it a second go because after we had this beer, my wife's like, yeah, it's terrible. I was sort of talked into saying it was terrible, even though initially I thought it was pretty good. And it wasn't quite winter yet. It was still late, early fall. It was a daytime, and it had, I remember saying at the time, it'd probably be a pretty good summer beer. Let me flip the total here. It's the details here. If I can find it here, it is brewed and canned by Krebs Brewing Company, McAlester, Oklahoma. Now, we had one of their products on, I believe, a couple weeks ago, I think, but I'll have to go back and look at my notes. But this is the key lime, so let's go ahead and give me the audio here to open it up. There we go. In a can. Cool label. I love the label here. The key lime label here. Let me move my lighting just around there. There you go. Isn't that kind of cool? Key lime pie. Key lime pie beer. Key lime pie beer is the there it is. I'm blocking it. My wife will join us in just a moment here. Well, she's not actually in the screen. You're gonna have to. There we go. That's what I'll do.
I came up because I knew I wanted to validate the fact that tastes
Okay.
so crappy. I brought my own drink.
Now,
I put too much vodka in that.
of the two of last week's cookie beer, remember I told you the cookie beer,
The cookie beer was good.
and initially it smelled exactly what it says, like cookies. This one doesn't, and I think it's because of the lime taste. We've gotten so used to having lemon and limes in our beers, especially if you have any beer from Mexico, for example, a lot of lime in it, right? It's kind of become the thing. You've got a lot of, even American beers now have got a lime flavored beer, all that. The lemon lime flavor and that citrusy taste kind of overshadows the actual pie smell, so to speak. So the cookie smell, it smelled like cookies. And remember we had the sherbet beer, it smelled like rainbow sherbet. This one doesn't smell nearly like, it doesn't smell nearly like, it smells
like beer.
It smells like beer with that of lime.
Really a lot of lime.
But it has more. What I'm smelling is more what I would smell, that aluminum can smell, and a lime. It has that lime kick to it. Again, it has more of what I would smell. If I'm sitting at a table and I smell a beer in a mug with a lime, say a Corona or Ducati or something, that's kind of what I'm getting, sort of. It's that's what I'm getting. Now I'm going to take a little taste here. So let's get the taste here. Now, see, the taste is different. And this is what I talked about last time.
Tastes different than you had it before?
No. The taste is different than the smell.
Let me take another sip because it's just nasty.
Okay.
I want them to see my sour face, my bitter beer face. Only thing worse than that is the pickle beer. Oh, that's
I didn't know that, Keith. He is. I'm not a connoisseur. I'm just some spare trying to put some content on Friday, but having some fun with it. But I do like to try the fruity beer. And this all came from me liking the fruity type beers. And what I said at the time, that day we had this at Flippers, I even said if it was a warm day out, 90 degrees plus, like it gets in Texas, 95. I mean, this could be a warm summer beer. I could a warm day by the pool, I would think this would be really, really quenching. But now on a second visit,
Ooh, tart.
it's a little tart, but it doesn't have the sweetness. But the cookie beer had a little more sweetness to it.
There's no sweetness.
This is and then really a real key lime pie has that real key lime juice in it, which is a little tartar than.
It's like a Sour Patch Kid, but no sweet.
Yeah, let me move the microphone too, because you're on the wrong side of the mic too, babe. I mean, there's Brooke out there. Good to see Brooke up there in Oregon. Wait, let me turn this around here. Oregon, Chicagoland, Vegas, up northeast somewhere. It looks like we had Australia, New South Wales. Yeah, I guess I'll pick you up. Anyway.
You'll pick me up. Have some fun, babe.
Yes. But anyway, you don't like this at all?
No. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's a -3. And the pickle beer is a -4. The cookie beer was probably a 6 or 7.
I taste the lime. You do taste the lime. It's not a heavy beer. It's very much. It's almost as if I took Coors Light and took some of that, the lime juice you get at the store and just squeeze it in there. It has a little bit of that to it, but there is a hint when it kind of like that first taste. I do get that key lime feeling. Now, key lime does stand out to me. When you have key lime pie, there's a certain. I mean, it's a different lime, certain way it's made. There's a certain, what's the word for it? Texture to the taste, I guess is what I'm saying to you, that a key lime slice would have. It's there, but it's not overly powerful. And so this is more likely having a Coors Light pouring some lime juice in it.
Too much lime.
Not terrible, not too sweet, but a little sour. It's definitely sour.
A lot of sour.
Yeah, I love, Kaylin says she loves
key lime pie. I do too. I like
key lime pie
Ooh,
martinis.
martini. See, that would probably have a little sweet to it, Kaylin. This one doesn't have any sweet to it.
Now, I brought the pretzels up. I'm out of them. I got some salt here. I'm going to clear the palate. I'm going to get one more run. There.
Is that what salt does?
A little bit. Mom says, I'm not a beer person. Just, okay. Yeah. Well, Keith's over there in the Gary Highland area, Mom. And I think I got a new gig out the Gary Airport, I think. Don't you, Keith? Congratulations on that, I believe.
Oh, what's he doing in the airport? That's exciting.
Okay,
like twiddling his thumbs because no one's at the airport.
No.
I'm hoping that the airports get busy for Keith. I don't know.
He's working in shipping, I believe, sweetheart.
cool.
But I don't think you want. Don't know if we want to.
Shipping.
I don't know if we want to
busy.
give his personal details out to the world. So
No, I'm just saying.
I just remember seeing that. And I just wanted to congratulate him on his new gig. And the dog is. You wouldn't have a pretzel while to go, bud. I should let the dog try the beer. Okay, let's try it again.
Do you want some beer, Max? You want to taste a key lime beer?
And I wonder too.
You want to taste?
This beer was out a little. Not say out. I took it out when we came on the air, but I wonder if I took it out of the fridge or out of the ice right away, how much different it might taste. But it does have a Coors Light, Miller Lite, with some lime juice doused in it to kind of take that beer taste away and give it a sour lime taste. So it's more. Instead of key lime pie, it's more because there's no
just sour lime beer.
because key lime's got the graham cracker crust. I don't taste that graham cracker crust. Do you?
No.
Want to try it again? Yes, UPS there at the airport. By the way.
Okay, so he's not twiddling his thumbs.
No, they're really busy. I know he's been busy. He's been busy. He was been really busy. I've seen posts out there several times. But
that's good.
But no,
I'm glad people have jobs that are keeping them busy. I mean, there's so many people who don't have work.
No, especially this holiday season, a lot of shipping and all that. So you're saying thumbs down on this one?
Oh, 2 thumbs down. All of my fingers down and toes.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going to give it a score here in just a second. Let me kind of do my averages here. I love the labeling, by the way. That's one thing I will say.
The can is adorable.
We were talking to some folks. Let me give you guys a better shot of that. Our server over Rodeo Goat in Fort Worth this weekend was telling us, and I didn't realize this.
She was very knowledgeable.
She was very knowledgeable. It's good to see Craig over there in Australia as well. Good morning to you in the West. The server we had at Rodeo Goat in Fort Worth, she told us that the brewery we've been talking about, Martin House Brewery, they do a lot of their in-house artwork. And some of these specialty beers, the artwork is as big of a deal as what goes in the can. And there's some really cool artwork. And she was showing us some really neat different artwork here and there on some of these cans that I hadn't seen. This one's kind of fun. This one kind of looks like, get a good shot of it. It kind of looks like, let me pull the light off. If he has, it has a bit of a Sergeant Pepper's
Groovy.
70s, 70s, maybe Yellow Submarine. It looks like, you ever seen the Yellow Submarine cartoon when you were a kid, the Beatles? That's what this is. It's the Yellow Submarine cartoon style. That's what it is. See that? Let me make that turning around there for you guys.
It's a cool can. I'll give it a good solid 8 on the can. But the taste is so bad.
There it is right there. All righty. So that is the Key Lime Pie beer. And I'll give it a score in a moment while I get this up on the screen. Don't fruit the beer. That's man. Yeah, well,
Man law.
and this whole thing started with you, Kevin, when I had that raspberry, whatever that ale was up there in St. Paul. And I hadn't really, that was the first one I had that summer. Then I had one in Wichita, a brewery there. They're in downtown Wichita, or not downtown Wichita, but in that Stockyards area, Wichita. And so I've kind of, it's been more the berry beer, but this is, the dessert beers are in. We're going to try one hopefully next week. That'll be interesting. I'll save that one if I can get a hold of one. Good morning, May. Good morning. Good to see you over in Australia as well. Got folks checking in for the West today. It's just about a quarter till 8 a.m. on a Saturday
anybody
morning.
in the West want to adopt me?
Well, you don't want to get on a plane, so that's not going to help you.
I'll get on a plane to go there.
If you head to South Bend Airport and a UPS plane has landed, it's not uncommon to see 50 plus UPS fans streaming. Streaming for there's no doubt. I can tell you right now that DFW complex that they have, it's on the west side of the airfield at DFW. They've got usually 4 or 5 wide bodies, usually Airbus A330 freighters sitting there. And then, of course, the FedEx is across the other side of the field. One side of the field's FedEx, one side's the UPS. I've also seen the UPS base in Louisville. And that's something else. That's just plane after plane after plane coming in and out of Louisville. And Louisville's not if it wasn't for UPS, Louisville Airport would be basically like going to, I don't know, San Antonio or Oklahoma City. I mean, Kansas City Airport maybe. I mean, it has good domestic traffic, but not international. Louisville, though, is every freaking minute there's a plane coming out of that place. New hub in Gary Airport. Okay, that's what they're doing there. Yeah, I did not know that. Blame Bill. Yeah, that's right. We were there in St. Paul. Blame Bill. Yeah, Bill did kind of get me on that fruity beer kick there at the restaurant that day.
How is Bill?
Well, I think probably doing
I
all.
miss seeing the two of them in St. Paul.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird deal. What?
Chick has blue hair.
Okay. Folks can't see that. Good morning, good evening to you. Yes, good morning, good evening. It's either no in or out about it, right? Yeah, it's time for a little Aussie breakfast and a little Aussie brekkie. And for over here, I don't know what we're going to do for dinner. We're going
to drink it.
Well, we're going to drink it. Well,
we're going to meet Caitlin.
My lovely wife's going to have liquid food.
I don't do that.
Yes, early. It's it's officially here. 5, so it's 7:42. It's 18 minutes to the top of the hour, 8 o'clock in
we're
the
up
West.
way before that here.
Oh yeah.
We slept way too late if we were up at that.
Well, it's funny because 5:50 this morning when my alarm went off, I was actually walking and I text Paul Morgan back, and it was about 6:15 here, which would have been 8:15 in the evening over there. So he's post dinner, kicking up, watching a little TV with the wife when I text him, and I'm just getting up, and it's funny because they're just getting up over there. It's funny how that works.
Well,
but
I was up, wide awake between 3:15 and 5:30. I sent emails to students like 4 o'clock in the morning. I sent texts to my daughter, a poem to Joy. Joy texted me this morning. What were you doing up at 4:46? I'm like, I couldn't sleep. Reading the news, doing all sorts of things. And so I finally fell asleep at 5:30. I did not hear you get up. I heard you come back in and I thought, he overslept and is just jumping in the shower. I didn't realize you'd already been to work out.
Yeah, well,
Should be you.
riveting life of us at 5:50 in the morning. It's like, what are we, farmers? Well, I'm a grandson of a farmer. My mom was raised on a farm, so I guess we're farmers now. Bill is bumming about the Saints going AAA. There are folks, and not to get into a long conversation about it, but there are a lot.
Same with us.
It's going to suck because I look forward to
I love that hotel.
this screenshot. I'm going to move it again because we're not in the same there.
I love that hotel. I love that area. The bars around there are great.
Bob, nobody asked me. Well, it is frustrating because I mentioned in my tweet, when I said a lot of really good things have happened there. My wife came to visit me there. My mom surprised me there. I've met some really good mates there.
Family there. It was always a good stop for me.
Yeah, you had family there, but I mean you saw your family there. I waved at them. I waved at them from a distance. The old, there's of course my mates that I met there, Kevin and Bill and others, and then I'm a big fan of George Samus, who's the manager of the Saints the last few years.
One Sean.
Well, Sean, and Sean's a good bloke, but I mean, I know George from when I was in calling games in Jacksonville, and he was a player back in the 90s. So, Keith, very funny. I see the farm. It's kind of like me. I saw. It's like I told a kid today at school that I said, well, he asked me about a question. It was actually last week. Asked me about a math problem, and I said, well, I've been to a math class once, but I couldn't really tell you what the answer is, kiddo. But personally, those items, and professionally, Kansas City had Joe's 1000th win there. Joe Capietro, our manager, in 19.
That photographer.
What?
There's that photographer, that local photographer.
Yeah,
really good.
Captain Twin Cities are good people.
Yeah.
And then the 2018 American Association Championship Series, where the T-Bones won Game 1 on September 11th. That's the day Mom surprised me. And then we had some good times there too. And it's always been just one of those places. And I actually, prior to really, we were just started dating, I had to figure out how to do a stream from there. And that was a mess. I had to go, and I remember buying a laptop in St. Paul. There are a lot of crazy memories. And I remember the old ballpark there where I was trying to stream and I wasn't sure how I had no idea how to do any of this stuff at the time. I wasn't even sure how to make it work. And it was crazy.
While you went.
We still, I know you still have that farm, Mom. I know. We know that
you have always been steps ahead.
What?
Well, I mean, like, you were one of the first to do that. You were one of the first to do the lives. I'm going to keep your
very overrated. Very overrated.
No,
very
you're
overrated.
not.
Anyway.
No.
By the way, I didn't close the beer review because I gotta give the beer before we. I gotta give the score. Do I? I gotta give the score. 7.7 last week. So let me just kind of give you guys.
It should not be higher than. There's no way that's higher than a 5.
No, I'm gonna give it a
No.
5.9.
I want you to grade my final exam.
And the reason I'm going to say that because I am not totally. I'm not totally against it because I can see in the summertime I would drink a lot of these laying by the pool or the beach in Belize or wherever. I could do that. It has that. I do like the lime thing. I love, and I think I've talked about this before. I love micheladas. Michelada is basically a Bloody Mary beer that's got more of a Tex-Mex taste to it. A lot of lime, a lot of citrus in it with the Bloody Mary mix and the beer. That has a lot of that same to me. So I like that. I like that. I like the citrusy beer. I don't have any problem with it. The fact that it says key lime pie and it doesn't really, I don't really have the crusty taste to it, or it's not very sweet. That's the reason but I'm going to give it a 5.9. Although I do believe that I do believe that I do believe and revisit it might be higher. I'm gonna have to go on this road a little higher. These are all grades I can review later on, one way or the other. But I think this beer would grow on me, unlike the coconut milk beer would grow on me. This one would. And what was the one that I said that may grow? I think that was the one that won't grow on me. This one could grow on me. I can see me getting this up in the 7s.
So these are like game notes. You can amend them later. Not game notes, box scores.
Yeah, you could amend them later. Let's see here.
When somebody whinges, you can go back and figure them out.
You're not shocking me that easy. Either in case you're on the road, you'll see me. Yes. Shaking me that easy. Yes. Well, you know what though, mate? That's an easy airport to get to from DFW. It's a nonstop on either. Well, I don't. We could fly Delta from Love Field if we had to, but
When's
it's
the
a.
last time you set foot on a Delta
Well,
plane?
Delta's my second. Well, will be my third because I've got American / Alaska and then Southwest / Delta are kind of tied. But
Love me some Southwest. You're getting so skinny you can sit in those.
but
little
anyway,
seats.
my point is, Kevin, that's an easy flight up and back, and I've done that before to see Cowboy games, and now I got an excuse to go up there and see you. So, Kaylin's his favorite michelada. She's talking about, love it. As a
Yeah,
matter
I
of
don't like
fact,
that either.
I was turned on to micheladas before. Now, if you go to the liquor store now, like say to Specs here in Dallas or wherever you live, especially in the Southwest,
Kevin's place.
you're gonna find Kevin's place. Budweiser makes them. I believe.
Do they sell those in Wisconsin?
I'm sure they do. I
almost
they do.
said
They do.
Minnesota
They do in Kansas City.
because those are the same states.
What?
I almost said
He's in Minnesota.
I said Wisconsin.
He's
Oh.
in Minnesota,
Oh,
man.
they're interchangeable.
No, if you're, that's like saying Oklahoma and Texas are the same. No, they're not the
That
same.
is not the same.
They're not the same. Minnesota is its own place. Wisconsin and then is its own place.
He's in Minnesota.
Yes. Where do you
Sorry,
think?
St.
Where's
Paul.
St. Paul and Minneapolis, babe?
Minnesota.
Where's
I keep
Nashville?
thinking he's Tennessee,
Where is Billings?
Montana,
Okay. Where is Harrisburg?
Pennsylvania,
Okay. Where's Biloxi?
Mississippi.
Okay. Where's Huntsville? There's two.
Well, Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, but
In
we know that.
Alabama.
Okay. Let's try one. Where's Beaverton?
Wisconsin,
Nope.
Ohio,
Nope.
and Pennsylvania.
No, it's famous because it's a major brand home.
Where?
Nike,
I don't even know where that is.
Oregon.
Oh,
Anyway,
I should have known that. I'm sure
tequila
there's a
and beer
Beaverton in
is
all those other
hitting.
places.
Is it? Yes, it's hitting. Yeah, the key lime is hitting
No,
her.
it's the vodka.
Yeah. Wisconsin. Yeah. Anyway,
Wisconsin in
what I was saying was the Michelada beer used to be something you had to get either at a Mexican restaurant or make on your own. I used to make them on the Southwest flights. You used to get the little beer coupons, and if you flew Southwest, the stewardesses or flight attendants. Well, that's what they were. I mean, I'm sorry. That was the word I grew up with. I'm sorry. It's not racist. It's not a bad word. That's what they were called when I was a kid.
Evolve.
Okay. It's not anything wrong with that. Okay. Flight attendants, whatever. The Southwest Airlines flight attendants, when you would say, I want a Coors Light and a
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary mix, they knew. Now, if you said that on a flight flying in the Northeast, they look at you like, they'd look at you kind of funny. But Southwest, because their flight attendants were trained here in Dallas, they knew that the local domestic Texas traffic, that a lot of those folks in Texas like Michelada beers and morning beer. They're red eyes, they call them. A Bloody Mary mix and a beer, red eyes. Very big tailgate thing, was very West Texas, very Texas. The Michelada is the more spicy version with a little Tex-Mex to it.
I'm not surprised Caitlin likes that.
And now you can go to liquor stores and you can buy the big tall cans and you can buy them all across the country. But there was a time, the only place you get them was at either a restaurant would make them or the Southwest Airlines. You get them and mix them yourself. But now you can actually buy them by the can in the stores. But like places like Aw Shucks on Greenville Avenue, my favorite restaurant, they make you, it's on their menu,
That's your favorite restaurant?
draft beer, margaritas, all on the menu, and it would say Michelada, homemade Michelada. They'd make you a homemade Michelada before they even have them in the stores where you buy them now as a can. So basically, you're missing out on the greatness of Michelada. But I need to close out the beer review real quickly. Let's do that real quickly before we move on to the goodbyes here. All right, there we go. There's your beer review for the week. Again, 5.6 on the scale.
5.9 is what you gave it.
I'm sorry, 5.9 on the scale. Sorry about that. Review that again. Review again. There, 5.9. I didn't give it. Okay. Next week we hope to. We'll have something else for you next week. But anyway, we're making those.
Let me pick it.
Okay. Well, you could do that, but you're busy, so we'll let me do it. Okay. Where else were we? Political correctness. Yeah. Well,
Well, it's not that. It presupposes that it's a woman's job, but it's not.
well, on Southwest Airlines, when I was a kid, it was a woman's job. No, I know. Yes, there was a time.
No,
Re-
it's also
in
male
re-
work in it.
yes, there are now, but there was a time until recently. Southwest was almost always was women.
Female.
Now, there were flight attendants that were male were usually on the legacy carriers,
Yeah.
American, Delta, that. But there were even times flying those legacy carriers in the 90s. You didn't see a lot of that, but they're getting more of that. Southwest does have male flight attendants now. Yes, they
Getting
do.
all worked up.
But well, I'm just saying you're trying to turn me into a racist here, and I'm not being that way.
not saying
But I
you're
know,
racist.
but you're trying to make me look like a knucklehead, and I'm not the smartest guy in the book, babe. But I mean, come on. I wasn't trying to make anybody feel bad. I'm just saying, when I was a kid, I called them stewardesses. That's what I was saying. My college days, they were stewardesses. It's not like those women are retired now, okay? But they used to make micheladas. That's where the whole thing went. So anyway, good gracious, babe, you
You're
gotta.
like turning red.
Well, I don't understand why you want to make me look like a knucklehead in front of the whole world. I don't get it.
You look like a knucklehead.
Like I'm some kind of terrible person because I said stewardess instead of flight attendant.
You're not a terrible person.
I mean, what is a female garbage worker called?
A garbage worker.
So garbage man, garbage worker.
Garbage worker.
Okay, well, because I never heard that word.
Or maybe she could be a garbage man.
Okay, I'm just
I don't
wondering.
know.
I'm just curious.
A sanitation.
Okay,
engineer.
sanitation. Okay, all right. Good gracious. Good gracious. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, Keith. It's all good. There's no doubt my wife's smarter. There's no doubt. Okay.
No, I'm only smarter
She's got-
than a small
She's
bitch.
got
You're
20,
smarter than
20 degrees. And I mean, there's a reason why I substitute teach and don't actually teach.
You could teach in a heartbeat.
No, I couldn't. I'd lose my mind. Yeah. Oh, that a steward. See, see, steward and stewardess. There's the difference. Yes, but I don't remember where and Mom would know this. Those Southwest flight attendants were actually trained by one of my mom's dear friends, who's no longer with us. But that's the building they train them in is at
Named after her.
what? Yeah,
Named
yeah,
after her.
the Sandy Pool, a dear friend of my mom's, who is that's where But anyway, what I was trying to connect the whole dots to is if you would jump on, let's say, a Delta flight back in 1995, and you flew from, say, Atlanta to Dallas, you might get a red beer or a michelada on the plane, but chances are you would order a beer. You say, I want a beer and a Bloody Mary mix. They look at you like,
Why?
they'd say, they like kind of squint their ears and make sure they heard right? But if you flew a Southwest flight, they were like, they knew exactly what they would actually come down the aisle around happy hour because folks would be.
Because Texans know what to do.
That was the deal. Yeah, that was a deal. So anyway, yes, that's right. I was saying that, Mom. But what's on tap this weekend, my wife?
We're heading out tonight with Kaylin to somewhere I don't know where. And I think we're going to try some beer or something. Kaylin
Okay.
could chime in if she's still on. Tomorrow I tutor in the morning, but I only have one because the other we're going to reschedule to Sunday 'cause she's a tournament. And we'll probably do our Fernando's patio on Saturday if we bundle up. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. We'll have to find somewhere to eat outside.
Low 60s. And,
Oh, that's not bad.
well,
We can-
that's the high. That'll be in the 40s in the evenings, and I don't know how cold that. Maybe it's seasonally like it's supposed to be around here.
Other than that, I don't know. What else? What do you tell me, boss?
I was just curious, just kind of bringing you into the show. It's called carrying the show and creating.
I've been doing the whole time. I've been
No, I'm
doing
just- no, but I'm
your
just-
color commentary.
I'm just trying to help add to the show here. So
Yeah. I don't think
I
we have anything much on tap.
Cowboys play on Tuesday. I'll have to watch that debacle then. Assuming the Ravens have any players on our COVID out.
Yeah. Does Tech or Penn State play? I don't
I
even
don't
know.
follow Penn State, but Tech plays Kansas
Follow
tomorrow.
Penn State?
Tech plays Kansas,
you
which
love
is
your
like
wife.
playing. Well, I say this now: if Tech loses tomorrow, then
Kansas
they will
lose
all
tomorrow,
they
the
will
Kansas game?
yeah they will all get. If Tech was to lose to Kansas tomorrow, they'll all get fired. I mean, everybody in the whole program get fired. I don't
As they should.
as they should.
Well, hello, Penn State lost to Nebraska.
Kansas
And
wouldn't.
Maryland and Rutgers.
Kansas wouldn't be able to compete in District 95A. T-shirt weather up there, huh? Okay, all right.
Oh, why? How cold is it in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Minnesota?
Well, Keith wouldn't know that. He's not in Minnesota.
Oh, he's in Indiana. How cold is it in Indiana?
Well, you just
I
asked.
thought that was Kevin. I'm sorry. I thought it was Kevin. I just saw the K. Sorry.
Do you need a map to know where people? Should I tell you where everybody?
No, I know Keith Patterson. I know him from Gary.
Madeline's in Kansas City. Mom's in Indiana. Kaylin's around the corner.
I know. I know
Chris Brown in KC.
Madeline Mundell.
Stewart's in Victoria.
Missouri.
Victoria's in Australia. Kevin's in Vegas. Had a good time. Who else
Let's
I
go
miss?
to Vegas tomorrow.
Anyway, all of a sudden you have one vodka and you want to get on a plane.
Maybe that's what it takes. Maybe you just need to get me loaded up.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Besides, I'm not.
36 in Elkhart. Okay, Mom. Well, that's all good.
That's not bad. That's running weather. That's perfect.
30 or 40. It's supposed to be. It's either 30 or 40, or
That's a big swing there, Keith.
well, it's close to freezing and not close and almost freezing.
Or
So
maybe it's high and low. That's actually perfect running weather. That's perfect. Running
what
weather.
made the running weather so good this week, except for Monday was probably the warmest morning, but it was the
It was
coldest.
windy.
But it was the coldest to me because it was windy. Where Tuesday was a freeze, and
But
then
it was good.
overnight here was a freeze, but it was actually
It was not bad.
it was above freezing when it was 30 when I got out there. So it got, and by the time you got out there, it was above freezing. It was freezing this morning and Tuesday morning, both mornings, but neither one were too bad.
Brisk.
The worst one was Monday morning, and it was only about 49, 48, but it was gusting winds, and so it was the coldest I was. So all week.
Max
But,
had a sweater on this morning.
oh, well, he needed that. The dog, where is he? Is he around here somewhere?
He's dead.
He's over there sleeping. Yeah, so that's what we got. Also, Tech basketball here in about an hour and a half. So all good. Anyway, say goodbye, honey.
Goodbye, honey.
All right, there we go. There's the lovely wife. Let's shut this thing down
Peace
for
out.
another week. And
Usually you
okay, babe. Oh boy, it's gonna be an interesting night.
Why do you say that?
Oh boy. All right. Again, we will do the beer test on Friday again next Friday. This weekend, we'll Monday we kind of wrap up the weekend and get you caught up on what happened for us. If anything exciting happened, if not, we'll just kind of go through the motions. Wednesday, we always create something out of nothing. Then Friday, we taste the beers. So that's what we'll do this week. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Much love to you guys. Thanks for stopping by for a minute, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. If you're really bored and you want to, well, not really bored. If you're a baseball nut and you want to follow a little baseball, go to Talking Baseball Australia Live, or actually go to Talking Baseball Australia right here on Facebook and check out our show from last night. Paul and I interviewed a really nice young man, Nate Gherkin, who was in quarantine at the time we talked to him, and it was day 12 of 14. So interesting conversation there, good fun stuff there on our show. So check that out on Facebook Live. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's show more love tomorrow than we did today. Let's keep fighting on. Let's get better, and we're going to come out of this thing okay and continue to just show some love and empathy and do be better tomorrow than we were today. Okay? Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you around the corner. Keith, going to see everybody out there, going to see you worldwide. We had four if you count Texas, 4 different countries here. We had Canada, we had Texas, we had America, and we had Australia. How about that? All in one show today. All righty. We'll love you guys. We'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Much love.